Sometimes it's just nice to report on, good people still doing good things out there. And when you see a sheriff not wanting to enforce the rules of a tyrannical governor, or, well, in some cases, even the tyrannical rule of several mayors, you just gotta report on it because you love to see it. Riverside County, California Sheriff Chad Bianco published a video on Friday saying he will not enforce California Governor Gavin Newsom's latest lockdown orders that will devastate local hospitals, businesses, schools, and civil liberties. But that's right, he'd never have to enforce them around Gavin Newsom's governor's mansion in California because he just goes to his friends' birthday parties anyways. There are 22 people there. Fuck, they worked really hard on it. At least that's what he said. So that was the reason why he went. So you wouldn't have to worry about that. Or who was it? There was another elected official in California just before. I think it was the mayor of San Francisco, but don't quote me on this. But it was definitely in California. 3 days before locking down their entire city or county or district, they went out to a really fancy restaurant as well. Yeah, rules for thee and not for me. Remember that. So this is why you just like to see good people doing good things. These closures and stay-at-home orders are flat out ridiculous, he added. The metrics used for closures are unfavorably faulty and not representative of true numbers and are disastrous to Riverside County. At least somebody is sticking up for their counties. Bianco said his police department will not be coerced into threatening the livelihood, safety, and security of local residents. Instead, they will trust local citizens to protect themselves and others with common sense precautions. Exactly. And I've been saying that for a very long time. If you would do whatever you want to do to keep yourself and your loved ones safe, okay? If you want to wear a mask everywhere at all times, that is your choice. Gloves are optional, for sure. Do what you believe is best for you. Don't be listening to somebody else who doesn't have your best interest in mind, who only sees you as a walking money bucket. And don't sacrifice any of your personal liberties for something that amounts to a tiring head cold. He is expected to arrest anyone violating these orders, cite them, and take their money, close their business, make them stay in their homes and take away their civil liberties, or he will punish all of us, Bianco said of stupid Newsom. While the governor's office in the state has threatened action against violators, the Riverside County Sheriff's Department will not be blackmailed, bullied, or used as muscle against Riverside County residents in their enforcement of the governor's orders. Bravo, good sir. Bianco highlighted Newsom's hypocrisy in constantly refusing to follow the same rules he is inflicting on Californians, as well as his threat to withhold funds from localities that don't obey him while doing exactly the same thing to federal government regarding enforcing immigration laws. Oh, this guy's spicy. Newsom's dictatorial attitude toward California residents while dining and luxury traveling, keeping his businesses open, and sending his kids to in-person private schools is very telling about his attitude towards California residents, his feelings about the virus, and is extremely hypocritical, Bianco said, referring to the governor's recent dining at a fancy restaurant, yes, with 22 other people as well. Yeah, and including him and his wife, it was an even 24. California is pretty much in another total lockdown, like a repeat from the spring as well. Very much a total lockdown, just the essential businesses or whatever remained open, or wherever government officials would like to go. When you're in California, they're all Democratic officials anyways. There's no Republicans out there, to be completely honest. And you'd love to see more sheriffs like this, like Chad Bianco, standing up for, what is right and constitutional. But sometimes it falls to the feet of business owners to plead their case. You guys might have seen this video circulate around. It looked fairly popular. I don't necessarily watch these videos because people screeching through masks aren't really my thing, but hearing what she had to say, more or less just reading what she had to say, I think that it's important to give proper contextual substance to what's going on in California. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Emotional saloon owner berates the LA Mayor Garcetti for giving special treatment to the film industry. Yeah, because all of the elite's friends and all of their little entertainers can go around and dance and, pretend to be important. I haven't watched a fucking movie in just about a decade at this point. I could give a fuck what Hollywood is up to. But yeah, they are getting special exemptions because entertainment, if that's what they're classifying Hollywood is right now, I think they need to go back over their certifications. No, they get essential business classification. Like all your news outlets, all of your television programs, they're essential because you need entertainment during this time. But somebody who has a clothing shop can't have their building opened, or a tattoo artist needs to close down, even though they all operate at such minuscule margins. There's a reason why 1 in 5 businesses aren't going to recover from this prolonged evil lockdown spree. A saloon owner in Sherman Oaks, California, is publicly blasting Governor Gavin Newsom and Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti over their outdoor dining bans while allowing a TV production set up eating areas just feet away from her establishment. Yeah, your business needs to close down, but those people out there just eating outside, being catered to, yeah, they don't have to because they're those people you see on TV. They have more privileges than everyone else. In a video that went viral on Friday, and which was confirmed by Breitbart News, Pineapple Hill Saloon and Grill owner Angela Marsden showed that a TV production has set up outdoor dining tents, apparently, for cast and crew just a short walk from her restaurant, which is struggling to stay afloat during the coronavirus pandemic. Marsden singled out Governor Gavin Newsom and Mayor Garcetti, both Democrats. No, shock and horror. Come on now, Breitbart, you only do the hard-hitting reporting, accusing them of hypocrisy for giving Hollywood production priority over restaurants. I'm losing everything. Everything I own is being taken away from me. And they set up a movie company right next to my outdoor patio. And people wonder why I'm protesting and why I have had enough, Marsden says in the video. I can already hear the smooth-brained rejoinders. Oh, why don't you just set up a catering business? Why don't you just do takeout dining? Well, to get on with craft services like that, they're all a part of these big fucking unions, you halfwits. And as you know, unions are some of the most corrupt institutions that are left in America right now. So all of their friends are looked after right now, and they were directly responsible for keeping mixed martial arts out of New York State for like a decade at this point. It has since been installed in New York and regulated and stuff. So yeah, it's long since past. So this lady goes on to say, they have not given us money and they shut us down. We cannot survive. My staff cannot survive. Look at this. Tell me that this is dangerous, she said, pointing to her outdoor dining area. But right next to me, as a slap in my face, she said, pointing to the tables and the chairs as they were presumably set up for production staff. That's 50 feet away, but this is dangerous. There is no way that you could possibly justify that. I literally couldn't think of anything. But still, if you were to bring it in front of one of these judges that have been adjudicating on the election cases, they just throw it out because, I don't know, standing or something. And just to wrap this up, California's new stay-at-home orders will shut down outdoor dining through much of the state. Outdoor dining has helped keep many restaurants afloat during the pandemic, but new shutdown orders will likely wreak havoc in the economy in an industry that is already hanging by a thread. Of course, unless you work for Hollywood with the glitz and the glamour that's there, even though everybody is bailing on the state and turning the adjacent states into another version of a California-like shithole. And while there's little victories that are handed down by the Supreme Court, like how Gavin Newsom got a similar treatment to what Andrew Cuomo got when he was trying to tell churches and synagogues that they can't open, Newsom, this is, similarly got the same Supreme Court smackdown and had to rescind the closures on houses of worship, I suppose. But I'm just waiting for somebody to start suing for lockdowns to be ruled unconstitutional on a much larger scale. Like, it's happened a little bit before, and nothing's really come out of it, but we've got our first case up here in Canada, and I am very hopeful this goes through, especially because it is in my home province, and you'll love to see it. Justice Center sues province of Alberta over COVID restrictions. The Justice Center for Constitutional Freedoms is what JCCF stands for, is suing on behalf of 2 Alberta churches and 2 individuals. Listen, Canada's judiciary's a little more, how do I delicately say this, filled with faggots. So it's really tough that this is actually going to pass, but there is hope out there. And there's hope for the rest of the provinces out there. So let's see what they got. The JCCF has filed a court challenge against the Alberta United Conservative Party, yuck. Government's health regulations saying they violate Alberta's Charter of Freedoms. The JCCF is suing on behalf of 2 Alberta churches and 2 individuals. Thank you. The Alberta government first declared a state of public health emergency in Alberta on March 17th. You're going to have to start putting a year next to that, for fuck's sakes. Under the guise of the 2 weeks to flatten the curve, the resulting lockdowns devastated small businesses and has led to large-scale societal harm in the form of increased unemployment and poverty, deteriorating mental and physical health, drug overdoses, cancelled surgeries, the loss of personal liberty, and even death, said the JCF. Isn't it JCCF? Fucking hire a copy editor, you bastards. In a Saturday release. So this is hot off the fucking presses. On November 24th, the Alberta government again declared a state of public health emergency. Why? Imposing a second wave of lockdowns, harms, and authoritarian restrictions on the ability of Albertans to travel, conduct business, visit family, obtain necessities, peacefully assemble, manifest their religious beliefs, and breathe freely. Yeah, you love to see it. And I broke down the numbers here in Alberta, and more specifically, I think in my own city. But yeah, when 5 people are dying a day, oh my god, I can't hardly believe it. And they're all over fucking 80, for Christ's sakes. The vast majority of them are over 90, by the way. I think the day that the second wave of lockdowns got put into effect, 11 people died, and what was it, 1 person were in their 60s, and the rest of them were in their 80s and 90s. Worth killing off the economy. I've driven downtown. And Grand Prairie doesn't exactly have the largest, most thriving downtown. Our fucking idiotic mayor decided that he needed to update everything and spent millions of dollars to, I don't know, just narrow the streets and make it more, hobo-friendly with a bunch of pre-installed benches where you can find needles and crack pipes whenever you just find yourself in need of one. So if you're managing to stumble your way through downtown and notice all the boarded up and empty buildings there. There's only a couple of places that are still left open. It's not like there was much there to begin with, but to see everything, just kind of emptied out is a little bit disconcerting. Currently in Alberta, no gatherings around. No gatherings are allowed in your house. They're telling you what you need to do because 400 or some cases a day and nobody's dying who's able to recall the last 10 years of their life. Outdoor gatherings must have no more than 10 participants. It's been relatively nice the past few weeks, but normally right now it should be about 20 to 30 below every day. So outdoor gatherings right now, while they are rare and they are relatively possible, normally shouldn't be happening right now. And only members of the same household are allowed to dine in restaurants together. How fucking retarded is that? Okay, go out and dine in restaurants. Outside, that is. And commingle with other people that are there because the virus will just know, okay, those people all live together, so I just won't go ahead and cohabitate with other people. It's not scientific whatsoever. Pubs must also stop booze service at 10 p.m. Weddings and funerals are limited to 10 people. A wedding with 10 people would just be so much fun. Does that include the bride and the groom? Probably. And booze service because, COVID has a bedtime. But I hope these guys successfully sue the Alberta government because I would like precedent up here in Canada. Like there is, I forget which states there are. So that hopefully this can trigger a type of domino effect because I know Kenny a little bit. He's the premier up here in Canada. I know he premier in Alberta, not Canada. We got a bigger faggot who's occupying that seat there. So the big cushy one with a fist on it. I think he's just being pressed by a bunch of bad actors that he has around him in order to put down this edict. Does that excuse him from actually imposing all of this stuff? Hell no. But I think he would be fairly likely to rescind these because he held out for a fucking long time. And this is a vast overcorrection for doing that. So I think it just takes a little bit of a nudge and he'll just be like, yeah, no, these are stupid. So at least I'm hopeful of that. Because frankly, my day doesn't really change if there's a huge lockdown. But I don't like to be told what I can't do. And all of these lockdowns will never not be stupid. So I will continue to report on them. So that's your update on California. There's a good sheriff out there. The Hollywood's doing fine. Great. So nobody can, at least they'll all be well fed when nobody's watching their videos. And Alberta in Canada has their first court case against the province for unconstitutional lockdown orders. You'll love to see it. Anyways, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll be back at you tomorrow. I don't know what we're going to talk about, but it'll probably be functionally retarded at some level. I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.